Please rise for the universal prayer. Those who can, those who cannot, you can remain seated. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom, O hidden light, shining in every creature, O hidden love, embracing all in oneness, may all who feel themselves as one with Thee know they are therefore one with every other. Please be seated. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to one of the 4 significant days of celebration related to the Theosophical Society, its founders, and the eminent Theosophists. Although they are the source of inspiration all the time, but it is on these days that a very special group thought form of reverence and gratitude is generated by the Theosophists worldwide when their attention is focused. And why not? Because it is a form of appreciation to the great work done by our predecessors. So much that in the world of transient existences, Theosophical Society is not only still standing strong after 150 years of its foundation, but also is relevant and continue to be a source of light to the seekers of truth worldwide. Coming to today's Adyar Day, originally it was celebrated as known as Olcott Day, 17th February, which was the day of passing of Colonel Olcott, one of the founders, in 1907. During that time, members gathered at the place where the body of Colonel Olcott was cremated. They shared a few words and offered flowers at the place where the memorial was built in the memory of Colonel Olcott. But after a few years, tradition changed and it became centered near the statue of Madame Blavatsky and Colonel Olcott here in this headquarters hall, as we are all doing together following that tradition. Later on, after a decade, in 1922, Mr. Fritz Kunz, the husband of Dora Kunz, who was the president of Theosophical Society in America, he conceived the idea of Adyar Fund, because having stayed here for a long time, he felt the need to support Adyar by the members all over the world collecting some funds, sending here, so some buildings can be constructed and people all around the world can come and stay here and do the studies. And so the first unofficial Adyar Day was celebrated in the United States on 17th February 1923, on which the members raised the money, raised the funds to be sent overseas for Adyar. Dr. Annie Besant, however, declared 17th February as Adyar Day only after a suggestion from Madame de Monziarli, who was a member of French section, when she suggested that. And so the first official Adyar Day was celebrated on 17th February 1926. And to commemorate that day, the first Adyar Day, a pamphlet was published with the black and white beautiful photographs of the estate. And that date, choosing of that date was not a coincidence, but it was chosen because not only Colonel Olcott passed away on that date in 1907, as you can see, Giordano Bruno, who was a student of Pythagorean philosophy, he was burned at stake for his dedication or commitment to truth in 1600 on the very same date. Also, one of the eminent theosophists, C.W. Leadbeater, was born in 1854 on 17th February, and as if to add to some divine conspiracy, later on, J. Krishnamurti also passed away on 17th February 1986, making this day a very special day in the sense, as I said, not only round the year, but on this very special day we remember them. But it is not a day only to remember and extend gratitude to all of them, all those known and unknown people, the individuals who have walked before us, who dedicated their life to theosophy and who gave us a very special gift in the form of Adyar. But also it is the day to reaffirm our commitment to carry on that legacy in whatever best way we can, individually or as a group, to greater and greater heights. And so today, to observe Adyar Day, we have a musical presentation on Gita, Kabir and Krishnamurti. And to share that presentation, we have among us Ms. Jaishree Kannan, who is a long-term theosophist and a long-term resident of T.S. Adyar, who is a second-generation theosophist, and also who studied in Besant Theosophical School and later on taught in the school. Currently, she is the head librarian of Adyar Library and Research Center and the in charge of Suren Narayan Archives.
Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Shri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Namaste. Before I begin the presentation, I would like all of you to know that it was exactly 100 years before one of our important departments, museum, was started. It is beautifully described in the Adyar News and Notes as, in that memorable year, 1925, Nicholas Roerich, about whom everybody knows or ought to know, came to Adyar bringing one of his masterpieces, The Messenger. A group of residents gathered there, a draped picture on the easel, a short interval of music, a brief verbal introduction, and then Professor Roerich went to the easel and, unveiling the picture, he said, "In this home of light, let me present this picture of the messenger, dedicated to Helena Petrovna Blavatsky as the nucleus of a future Blavatsky Museum of Arts, whose motto shall be, 'Beauty is the garment of truth.'" Thus the seed was planted, and the plant has grown now into a magnificent, huge tree with wide-spreading branches, providing whatever it can with flowers, fruits, berries, shade, fragrance, etc. to others. Coming back to the topic, this topic, Gita, Kabir, and Krishnamurti, baffles me. At the same time, this invites me to explore more and more and to dig deep into the subject. I shall try to weave a beautiful thread which will bind all the three topics together. Let me at the outset admit that I am not proficient in any of the three topics. I chose this topic because I am inspired and uplifted. Gita, Kabir, and Krishnamurti are separated by centuries between them. Hence, it is not proper to compare them in a literal sense. Yet, their thoughts and experiences are similar and run parallel to each other, meeting each other very often. Over 5,000 years ago, Bhagavad Gita, the magnificent text, was composed. It consists of unique dialogue consisting of questions and answers between a student, Arjuna, and the teacher, Lord Krishna. The Bhagavad Gita is a revered Hindu scripture that encapsulates profound teachings on philosophy, ethics, and spirituality, and offers insight into the timeless wisdom of the Gita. Gita teaches us 4 ways to achieve the goal: Raja Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. By practicing any of these methods, one can reach the Supreme. 15th century in India was an age of political turmoil and increasing antagonism among the different faiths. It was an era of orthodoxy, unrest, and superstitious religious beliefs. But Kabir was a man who was venerable to the Hindus and Muslims alike at that time. Kabir has been called a Vaishnava Bhakta, a Nad Yogi, a Tantric, a Sufi, and many more. He reached out to the masses, wrote in a language known to them masses, and freed them from the clutches of casteism. His messages were meant for the entire world, irrespective of religion. He uttered the primal truth that God is but one, even if we called him by many names. Kabir criticized religious orthodoxies and rituals. According to him, there are no bondages like caste, class, gender to achieve the Jivan Mukti state. Sant Kabir talked about the basic elements with which the world is constituted, namely water, fire, air, earth, and space, and three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. Later on in this talk, we would come across this idea in a bhajan. Krishnamurti, the core of Krishnamurti's teachings is contained in the statement he made in 1929 when he said, "Truth is a pathless land. Man cannot come to it through any organization, through any creed, through any dogma, priest, or ritual, not through any philosophical knowledge or psychological technique. One must find through the mirror of relationship, through the understanding of the contents of his own mind, through observation, and not through intellectual analysis or introspective dissection." He stressed the need for revolution in the psyche of every human being and emphasized that such revolution cannot be brought about by any external entity, be it religious, political, or social. Let us now talk about two aspects of God. Godliness can be experienced in two aspects, as saguna and nirguna. Saguna is the manifestation of God in form, and nirguna is the eternal, all-pervading, and omnipresent divine consciousness. The sun is a graphic simile for this. Sunlight is the nirguna form of the sun, and the celestial body is the saguna form. Nirguna bhakti is seeing God in everything. The ideal combination is that we start with saguna bhakti and finally complement nirguna bhakti, and only then will it result in complete harmony in the society. While Bhagavad Gita advocates saguna bhakti, Kabir laid stress on nirguna form of bhakti, the formless bhakti. Yet the themes, ideas, and teachings are similar. It is very interesting to see that Kabir's poetry is an extension of certain ideas in the Bhagavad Gita, and sometimes subtly yet emphatically endorsed by J. Krishnamurti. In the 12th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna talks about a true devotee who is dear to him. Adveshta सर्वभूतानां मैत्र करुण एव च अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्र करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कार निर्ममो निरहङ्कार समदुःख सुखक्षमी He who hates no creature, who is friendly and compassionate to all, who is free from attachment and egotism, balanced in pleasure and pain, and forgiving. Santushta satatam yogi yatatma दृढनिश्चयः सन्तुष्ट सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्ध्योर्मद्भक्त समे ever content, harmonious, self-controlled, possessed with firm conviction, with the mind and reason dedicated to me, he, my devotee, is dear to me. Kabir also talks about a yogi. He says, "O ascetic, I am a yogi for ages upon ages. I don't come or go, nor do I get erased. I relish and enjoy the unstruck sound, anahat shabd. In every direction, I see only a collection and me, myself. I am in everybody and everybody is in me. I am utterly alone. I am the realized goal, Siddha Samadhi. I am the one who remains silent. I am the one who speaks. The form is my own form, manifesting the formless. I am the one who plays with oneself." Kabir says, "Listen, O seekers, there is no desire anymore. Within my own nature, within myself, I rock, I play just as I wish." Avadhuta Yugana Yuganaham Yogi 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 Yugana Yuganaham Yogi Yogi Ave na jaye, ave na jaye. बिना कब हो कब हो, शब्द अनाहत बोगी अवधूता, युगन युगन हम योगी योगी। सब ठोर जमाती हमारी जमात, सब ही टोर पर मेला मेला, हम सब माय हम सब माय, सब है हम माय हम माय। हम है बहुरी अकेला अवधूता, युगन युगन हम योगी योगी। हम ही सिद्ध समाधि हम मौनी हम बोले बोले, रूप स्वरूप रूप स्वरूप, अरूप दिखा के हम ही में हम तो केलूं अवधूता, युगन युगन हम योगी योगी। कहे कबीरा जी सुनो भाई साधो, नाही न कोई इच्छा इच्छा इच्छा, अपनी मड़ी में आप में डोलूं डोलूं, खेलूं सहज स्वेच्छा अवधूता, युगन युगन हम योगी योगी। Fear and pleasure were lifelong themes in Krishnaji's talks. He often said, "Is it possible for the mind to empty itself totally of fear?" In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, shloka 15, Lord Krishna talks about the state of mind which is free from fear, anxieties, anger, etc. He by whom the world is not agitated and who cannot be agitated by the world, and who is free from joy, anger, fear, and anxieties. He is dear to me. Yasmano dvijate loko lokano dvijate chaya यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकानो द्विजते च यया हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैर्मुक्तो यः च मे प्रियः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैर्मुक्तो यः च मे प्रियः. Similarly, free from the fear was a big theme in Kabir's poetry too. He talks about fearlessness in the following song. Nirbhaya nirguna guna re मैं गाऊंगा गाऊंगा निर्भय निर्गुण निगुण रे मैं गाऊंगा गाऊंगा मूल कमल दृढ़ आसन बांधूंजी उलटी पवन चढ़ाऊंगा चढ़ाऊंगा निर्भय इंगला पिंगला सुख मन नाडीजी तिरुवेणी पर नाऊंगा नाऊंगा निर्भय शून्य शिखर पर अनाहत बाजे रे राग चतीस सुनाऊंगा सुनाऊंगा निर्भय कहत कबीरा कहत कबीरा सुनो भाई साधो जी जीत निसन उड़ाऊंगा उड़ाऊंगा निर्भय निर्गुण गुण रे मैं गाऊंगा गाऊंगा Fearless, formless, that's the form I'll sing. Yes, I will sing. In a firm posture, I'll bind the root lotus, make the breath flow upwards. This is about Kundalini Shakti. Right, left, middle channels, I'll bathe where the three streams meet. The peak of nothingness, where the unstruck sound resounds. I'll sing the 36 ragas. Says Kabir, listen, O practicing aspirant. I will wave the flag of victory. Kabir sang truth with magical simplicity and inspired people to experience the divine directly in their own hearts. Kabir's dohe or couplets are profound in wisdom. They reflect his way of expressing the most profound thoughts in simplest words. For example, the meaning of this dohe goes like this. Slowly, slowly, O mind, everything happens at its own pace. Gardener may water 100 buckets of water, but fruits arrive only at its season. Nature never works in haste. Picking up from this eternal law of Mother Nature, Kabir thus makes us realize that one must do one's best, but should have patience for the results to manifest in their own appropriate time, as nature does not work in haste. धीरे धीरे रे मना, धीरे सब कुछ हो, धीरे धीरे रे मना, धीरे सब कुछ हो। माली सिंचे सो घड़ा, माली सिंचे सो घड़ा, ऋतु आए फल मोरे, धीरे धीरे रे मना, धीरे सब कुछ हो। माली सींचे सो घड़ा, ऋतु आए फल मोरे, धीरे 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 धीरे। In another bhajan, he talks about cycles of birth and death and all the other pairs of opposites, pleasure and pain, love and hate, virtue and sin, are like a person who is caught between the millstones and becomes figuratively crushed. Liberation is obtained by transcending the opposites. माटी कहे कुम्हार से, तू क्या रोंदे मोहे, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा मैं रोंदूंगी तो है। आए हैं तो जाएंगे राजा रंग फकीर, एक सिंहासन चढ़ी चलेंगे, एक बंदे जंजीर। दुर्बल को न सताइए, जाकी मोतिहार, बिना जीव की सांस से लोह भस्म हो जाए। चलती चाकी देख कर, देख कबीरा रो, दो पटन के बीच में बाकी बचा न को। दुख में सुमिरन सब करे, सुख में करे न को, जो सुख में सुमिरन करे तो दुख काहे को। पट्टा टूटा डाल से ले गए पवन उड़ा, अब को बिछड़े कब मिलेंगे, दूर पड़ेंगे जाए। कबीर आप तगाइए और न ठगिए हो, आप तगे सुख उपजे और तगे दुख हो, और तगे दुख हो। माटी कहे कुम्हार से, तू क्या रोंदे मोहे, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा मैं रोंदूंगी तो है। Kabir, in yet another song, says, "Where are you searching for me? I am not far from you, nor in temples, nor in mass, nor in Kaaba, nor in Kailash, not in pilgrimage, nor in icons, neither in solitudes. If you know where to search, you will find reality in a moment, for it is the very breath of breaths. Seek earnestly and discover." A moment of search, says Kabir, listen with care. Where your faith is, I am there. मोको कहाँ ढूंढ रे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे पास में। मोको कहाँ ढूंढ रे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे पास में। ना मंदिर में, ना मस्जिद में, ना कबे कैलाश में, ना तीरथ में, ना मूरत में, ना तीरथ में, ना मूरत में, ना एकांत निवास में। मोको कहाँ ढूंढ रे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे पास में। खोजी हो तुरंत मिल जाऊं, एक पल की तलाश में। कहत कबीरा सुनो भाई साधो, मैं तो हूँ विश्वास में। मोको कहाँ ढूंढ रे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे पास में। मैं तो तेरे पास में। Despite the different approaches of all religious and philosophical teachings, it is very clear that the all-pervading, omniscient, omnipresent factor is finally the Almighty. Due to our customs, traditions, languages, we only address him by various names. Yet, it is also true that despite this awareness, we spend a lot of time in arguing about God and try to impose attributes. Kabir noticed this centuries old phenomenon in his time also. And this great master and saint, in the above verse, highlights the underlying principle that God is everywhere. Kabir reveals in this verse the various search patterns adopted by mankind, and each one seems to be justifying his chosen method. Some say God will be realized through pilgrimages, while some justify the idol worship. Some say he is up in the mountains, while some believe that he is in places of worship. Some proclaim prayer and meditation, while others believe realization through fasting. Many talk about yogic exercise and renunciation. Kabir's uniqueness and ingenuity is that he communicated his message through the use of easy to understand metaphors, drawing inspiration from day to day life. His teachings were simple and effective. It is said that the authenticity of Kabir's words were rooted in the depths of his own life experiences. He never advocated giving up worldly duties. He believed that any place and any time are good enough to experience the divine. He was for spiritual enlightenment within the world, not renouncing it. He encouraged people to ignore philosophical complications and controversies and asked us to focus on experiencing the divine. He remained unfazed by cults and confrontations and sang in ecstasy. He fought superstitious beliefs all his life. Here is a Kabir bhajan. In this, he talks about the state of consciousness where there is nothingness. It is a state which goes beyond the dualities of sorrow and happiness. Sakhiya, sakhiya, वागर सबसे न्यारा सखिया सखिया वाघर सबसे न्यारा सखिया सखिया जहाँ पुराण पुरुष हमारा सखिया सखिया जहाँ नहीं सुख दुख सांच झूठ नहीं पापन पुण्य पसारा नहीं देन रेन चांद नहीं सूरज बिना ज्योति उजारा सखिया सखिया जहाँ पुरुष तहाँ कछु नहीं कहे कबीर हम जाना हमरी सेन लके जो कोई पावे पद निर्वाणा सखिया सखिया वागर सबसे न्यारा सखिया सखिया Krishna ji was against bookish knowledge. He said, you can learn much more from looking at life around you than from the books. He wanted us to question everything, find out and learn for ourselves. That way, he said, we can learn about our feelings, fears and anxieties, joys and sorrows, and about all that goes inside us. He talked at length about knowledge, fear, pleasure, meditation, education, and on world crisis, etc. His teachings, if one might call it, was to bring about a complete change of the human mind, which he urged us to consider. All three of them were, I include the message of Bhagavad Gita also, very revolutionary in approach, non-traditional, non-dogmatic, and iconoclastic. The theosophical teachings too say the same thing, and we cannot draw a clear line between them to distinguish. Vedas and Upanishads say, Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. Truth is one. It is expressed in different metaphors. Before I conclude, I would like to recite a short poem which Krishna ji had written in 1930s. Desire is life, and the freedom of life is the freedom from desire. Love is life, and the happiness of life is the incorruptibility of love. Thought is life, and the union with life is the glory of a boundless mind. With the eternity of life, inseparable, undecaying, and immeasurable, I am in union. Mine, immortality, is my beloved, the beloved of all life. I would like to submit my Kshamapanam for the wrong pronunciation or meaning or any other wrongdoings. Whatever faults or mistakes I have done so far, my hands, my legs, speech and body, also due to my actions, also by seeing and hearing, or maybe mentally or as per the injunctions of Veda, all these, O Lord Shiva, who is all compassionate, please forgive me. You are the Lord of all deities and one whose nature is to bless us all. करचरणकृतं वा कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वा पराधं विहितमविहितं वा सर्ववेद क्षमस्व शिव शिव करुणाब्धे श्रीमहादेव शम्भो
I would like to extend gratitude to Ms. Jaishree Kannan ji for taking us through this melodious and profound journey that I think all of us must be experiencing right now. And to continue that, let us spend some time, some moments in meditative silence to really absorb the sacred silence that has been created and really make this Adyar Day memorable. Thank you once again, and thank you for everyone for joining us here today. And since the last thing that Jaishree ji mentioned was the poem by Krishnamurti, so I would like to end here with a quote that Krishnamurti said about Adyar, that it is essential to the individual member and to the society that Adyar, as a great spiritual center, remains dignified and honorable. The importance of this is so evident that few can doubt it. Adyar is and always has been a spiritual oasis where the weary traveler seeks solace and rest. Although not all members of the society have the privilege of going there, the mere existence of this center gives hope and encouragement. So let us carry with us all this hope and encouragement for our daily lives. And thank you once again, everyone, for joining us. After this, we can offer some flowers to the founders, followed by some refreshments outside. Thank you for coming. This session is closed now.